thankful, thankful. The farmers were thankful for the fall harvest. The farmers were thankful for the fall harvest. Whisker, whisker. Seals find their prey with their long whiskers. Seals find their prey with their long whiskers. Exhibit, exhibit. The gallery exhibited a painter's painting. The gallery exhibited a painter's painting. Certainly, certainly. She certainly agreed with my opinion. She certainly agreed with my opinion. Board, board. He hammered a nail onto a thick board. He hammered a nail onto a thick board. Binocular, binocular. Try binoculars before buying a telescope. Try binoculars before buying a telescope. Coral, coral. She has a pretty coral necklace. She has a pretty coral necklace. Consult, consult. He consulted a broker to buy a house. He consulted a broker to buy a house. Suitcase, suitcase. I dragged a suitcase around the airport. I dragged a suitcase around the airport. Tap, tap. Someone tapped on her room late at night. Someone tapped on her room late at night. Besides, besides. Nobody solved this problem besides me. Nobody solved this problem besides me. Mend, mend. He mended a broken tricycle. He mended a broken tricycle. Beginner, beginner. He plays soccer well for a beginner. He plays soccer well for a beginner. Island, island. There is a plant that eats insects on that island. There is a plant that eats insects on that island. Stripe, stripe. A zebra has fancy stripes. A zebra has fancy stripes. Progress, progress. The conference didn't progress anymore. The conference didn't progress anymore. Weather, weather. I don't know whether it is raining or not. I don't know whether it is raining or not. Tend, tend. He tends to easily trust others. He tends to easily trust others. Lack, lack. The novel shows the lack of imagination. The novel shows the lack of imagination. Republic, republic. My country is an independent democratic republic. My country is an independent democratic republic. Diligent, diligent. He's diligent enough to wake up early in the morning. He's diligent enough to wake up early in the morning. Aisle, aisle. The clerk cleared the box blocking the aisle. The clerk cleared the box blocking the aisle. Scary, scary. The scary monsters surrounded him. The scary monsters surrounded him. Domain, domain. The king gathered the soldiers to protect his domain. The king gathered the soldiers to protect his domain. Dawn, dawn. The enemy's military attack started at dawn. The enemy's military attack started at dawn. Safely, safely. She deposited the jewel safely in the bank. She deposited the jewel safely in the bank. Weight, weight. We measured the weight of the stone on a scale. We measured the weight of the stone on a scale. Urgent, urgent. Extinguishing the fire is the most urgent thing. Extinguishing the fire is the most urgent thing. Lift, lift. He lifted the heavy rocks with all of his might. He lifted the heavy rocks with all of his might. Destroy. Destroy. A terrible war has destroyed peace. A terrible war has destroyed peace. Block. Block. Blocks of stone fell off the cliff with a clatter. Blocks of stone fell off the cliff with a clatter. Everything. Everything. She talked as if she knew everything. She talked as if she knew everything. Collide. Collide. The plane collided on the runway with a thud. The plane collided on the runway with a thud. Unknown. Unknown. The cause of the fire is still unknown. The cause of the fire is still unknown. Achieve. Achieve. She has fully achieved this year's goal. She has fully achieved this year's goal. Main. Main. That student is especially good at the main subjects. That student is especially good at the main subjects. Bit. Bit. I added a bit of seasoning to the side dish. I added a bit of seasoning to the side dish. Strategy. Strategy. The company set up a strategy to sell products. The company set up a strategy to sell products. Vacant. Vacant. There is no vacant room at this hotel today. There is no vacant room at this hotel today. Thunder. Thunder. She heard the thunder from a distance. She heard the thunder from a distance. Hidden. Hidden. He is looking for hidden treasures on the island. He is looking for hidden treasures on the island. Preschool. Preschool. Her 6-year-old son goes to preschool. Her 6-year-old son goes to preschool. Illustrator. Illustrator. The illustrator writes a fairy tale and draws pictures. The illustrator writes a fairy tale and draws pictures. Survey. Survey. The political party conducted a random phone survey. The political party conducted a random phone survey. Even. Even. I still don't even know his name. I still don't even know his name. Employer. Employer. The employer evaluated the worker's abilities. The employer evaluated the worker's abilities. Concern. Concern. I am not concerned about the case at all. I am not concerned about the case at all. Decrease. Decrease. The mortality rate has been decreasing since last year. The mortality rate has been decreasing since last year. Pregnant. Pregnant. The pregnant woman finally gave birth to a baby. The pregnant woman finally gave birth to a baby. Washroom. Washroom. He washed his hands and feet in the washroom. He washed his hands and feet in the washroom. Glowing. Glowing. He stared at the opponent's glowing eyes. He stared at the opponent's glowing eyes. Relate. Relate. I believe this evidence is related to him. I believe this evidence is related to him. Idiot. Idiot. I looked like an idiot when I told the wrong answer. I looked like an idiot when I told the wrong answer. Brighten. Brighten. The Olympic torch brightened the opening ceremony. The Olympic torch brightened the opening ceremony. Traditional. Traditional. The couple had a traditional wedding. The couple had a traditional wedding. Bound. Bound. He's bound to pass the graduation test this year. He's bound to pass the graduation test this year. Aboard. Aboard. The captain shouted, All aboard! The captain shouted, All aboard! Beyond. Beyond. Some people are swimming beyond the safety line. Some people are swimming beyond the safety line. Etc. Etc. She ate apples, pears, etc. at the party. She ate apples, pears, etc. at the party. Crime. Crime. The police thoroughly investigated the crime scene. The police thoroughly investigated the crime scene. Shy. Shy. He was too shy to raise his hand. He was too shy to raise his hand. Immediately. Immediately. I wrote her an answer immediately. I wrote her an answer immediately. Entrance. Entrance. I said goodbye to him at the entrance. I said goodbye to him at the entrance. Vanish. Vanish. The ghost vanished without a sound at dawn. The ghost vanished without a sound at dawn. Quality. Quality. He claimed that quality is better than quantity. He claimed that quality is better than quantity. University. University. There are many excellent professors at my university. There are many excellent professors at my university. Outline. Outline. This picture described the mountain's outline well. This picture described the mountain's outline well. Capture. Capture. The detective captured the fugitive criminal. The detective captured the fugitive criminal. Fear. Fear. I felt fear at the edge of the cliff. I felt fear at the edge of the cliff. Talented. Talented. As far as I know, she is a talented artist. As far as I know, she is a talented artist. Citizen. Citizen. Both citizens and politicians must abide by the law. Both citizens and politicians must abide by the law. Businessman. Businessman. Businessmen exchange their business cards. Businessmen exchange their business cards. Dancer. Dancer. The dancer danced the tango to the music. The dancer danced the tango to the music. Punish. Punish. She punished her son who deceived her. She punished her son who deceived her. Load. Load. The worker placed a light load on his shoulder. The worker placed a light load on his shoulder. Tube. Tube. The plumber let the water flow down the rubber tube. The plumber let the water flow down the rubber tube. Congratulate. Congratulate. I congratulated her on her passing the exam. I congratulated her on her passing the exam. Bucket. Bucket. Fill half of this bucket with water. Fill half of this bucket with water. Spark. Spark. There was a spark on the wall outlet. There was a spark on the wall outlet. Stress. Stress. She felt severe stress before the interview. She felt severe stress before the interview. Charge. Charge. The government charges taxes according to income. The government charges taxes according to income. React. React. The chemicals met and started to react. The chemicals met and started to react. Bunch. Bunch. She put a bunch of roses into the vase. She put a bunch of roses into the vase. Throat. Throat. My throat is so sore that it is difficult to swallow food. My throat is so sore that it is difficult to swallow food. Emperor, emperor. The dragon is related much to the emperor. The dragon is related much to the emperor. Sticky, sticky. The spider web is a sticky and strong net. The spider web is a sticky and strong net. Experience, experience. This job requires skill and experience. This job requires skill and experience. Poison, poison. The viper uses poison to kill animals. The viper uses poison to kill animals. Belong, belong. She and I belong to another party. She and I belong to another party. Bitter, bitter. This medicine is so bitter that children don't like it. This medicine is so bitter that children don't like it. Boring, boring. The movie was boring, so I fell asleep. The movie was boring, so I fell asleep. Fixed, fixed. Don't move the statue that is in a fixed position. Don't move the statue that is in a fixed position. Traffic jam, traffic jam. I got on the subway because of the heavy traffic jam. I got on the subway because of the heavy traffic jam. Surface, surface. The surface of the marble is very smooth. The surface of the marble is very smooth. Offer, offer. The shelter offered food to the refugees. The shelter offered food to the refugees. Slowly, slowly. I dug up the ground slowly and carefully. I dug up the ground slowly and carefully. Keen, keen. Jenny is keen to learn about Korean culture. Jenny is keen to learn about Korean culture. Typical, typical. The cool wind is typical autumn weather. The cool wind is typical autumn weather. Plow, plow. The ox is pulling the plow in the rice field. The ox is pulling the plow in the rice field. Flash, flash. She took a picture with the camera flash on. She took a picture with the camera flash on. Lend, lend. The bank lent the company $1 million. The bank lent the company $1 million. Attention, attention. Nobody paid attention to the truth. Nobody paid attention to the truth. Instance, instance. He took an instance to explain the theory. He took an instance to explain the theory. Trick, trick. They used a trick to win. They used a trick to win. Wheat, wheat. He bought bread made of wheat at the bakery. He bought bread made of wheat at the bakery. Ordinary, ordinary. The happiness of ordinary people is simple. The happiness of ordinary people is simple. Ceiling, ceiling. The fly is crawling on the ceiling. The fly is crawling on the ceiling. Shorten, shorten. The tailor shortened my pants too much. The tailor shortened my pants too much. Legendary, legendary. He is a legendary general in Korean history. He is a legendary general in Korean history. Borrow, borrow. She borrowed money from the bank to buy a house. She borrowed money from the bank to buy a house. Experiment, experiment. They conducted experiments in the lab. They conducted experiments in the lab. Achievement, achievement. He boasted about his achievement. He boasted about his achievement. patient, patient. I checked the patient's chest with a stethoscope. I checked the patient's chest with a stethoscope. Leader, leader. He is a great leader of the Korean soccer team. He is a great leader of the Korean soccer team. Core, core. Above all, the core of a school is its students. Above all, the core of a school is its students. Theory, theory. She proved the theory with an experiment. She proved the theory with an experiment. Duet, duet. The singer sang the song as a duet. The singer sang the song as a duet. Earn, earn. He earned money by investing in stocks. He earned money by investing in stocks. Accuse, accuse. The police accused him of theft. The police accused him of theft. Japanese, Japanese. She is a Japanese woman from Japan. She is a Japanese woman from Japan. Glitter, glitter. The ring in the jewelry box glittered with the light. The ring in the jewelry box glittered with the light. Heat, heat. The intense heat made him feel dizzy. The intense heat made him feel dizzy. Blood, blood. She donated her blood to the sick person. She donated her blood to the sick person. Bean, bean. He covered the rice cake with savory bean powder. He covered the rice cake with savory bean powder. Contact, contact. Please feel free to contact me at any time. Please feel free to contact me at any time. Delete, delete. He deleted her name from the list. He deleted her name from the list. Height, height. I measured the height of the statue with a tape line. I measured the height of the statue with a tape line. Require, require. Some kids require special attention. Some kids require special attention. Strongly, strongly. He was strongly opposed to my opinion. He was strongly opposed to my opinion. Link, link. I connected the ship to the port with a steel link. I connected the ship to the port with a steel link. Grip, grip. The eagle gripped a mouse with his claws. The eagle gripped a mouse with his claws. Feed, feed. He fed peanuts to the swallows in the cage. He fed peanuts to the swallows in the cage. Plate, plate. I placed the plates in order on the table. I placed the plates in order on the table. Confess, confess. The spy confessed everything because of the torture. The spy confessed everything because of the torture. Married, married. Many married women work at the company. Many married women work at the company. Dome, dome. Since it's a dome stadium, I'm not worried about rain. Since it's a dome stadium, I'm not worried about rain. Wrinkle, wrinkle. She ironed the pants to remove the wrinkles. She ironed the pants to remove the wrinkles. Recipe, recipe. The cook introduced recipes in the cookbook. The cook introduced recipes in the cookbook. Input, input. She is responsible for input and output of data. She is responsible for input and output of data. Stomachache, stomachache. He can't have a meal because of the stomachache. He can't have a meal because of the stomachache. Waist, waist. I removed the fat around my waist with a hula hoop. I removed the fat around my waist with a hula hoop. Poem. Poem. There is joy and sorrow in a short poem. There is joy and sorrow in a short poem. Income. Income. He always spends more than his income. He always spends more than his income. Envious. Envious. She is envious enough to be jealous of me. She is envious enough to be jealous of me. Sniff. Sniff. The dog suddenly sniffed a man's bag. The dog suddenly sniffed a man's bag. Visual. Visual. He had a visual test because of his license. He had a visual test because of his license. Intend. Intend. I never intended to ignore you. I never intended to ignore you. Scare. Scare. Her lion disguise scared the kid. Her lion disguise scared the kid. England. England. England is famous for its gentlemen and its umbrellas. England is famous for its gentlemen and its umbrellas. Grown. Grown. He is too weak for a grown man. He is too weak for a grown man. Prisoner. Prisoner. The prisoner vanished without a trace in prison. The prisoner vanished without a trace in prison. Leak. Leak. The water keeps leaking from the bucket. The water keeps leaking from the bucket. Repetition. Repetition. Constant repetition makes it perfect. Constant repetition makes it perfect. Microscope. Microscope. I enlarged the bacteria 5 times with a microscope. I enlarged the bacteria 5 times with a microscope. Superstition. Superstition. Religion and superstition are clearly different. Religion and superstition are clearly different. Flee. Flee. The killer took a ship to flee overseas. The killer took a ship to flee overseas. Gloomy. Gloomy. I don't know why, but today is a gloomy day. I don't know why, but today is a gloomy day. Improve. Improve. I had a sale to improve the sales amount. I had a sale to improve the sales amount. Porch. Porch. She saw the visitors out at the porch. She saw the visitors out at the porch. Seldom. Seldom. He seldom wakes up early in the morning. He seldom wakes up early in the morning. Education. Education. I received education and improved my skills. I received education and improved my skills. Arctic. Arctic. Polar bears are a symbol of Arctic animals. Polar bears are a symbol of Arctic animals. Fur. Fur. Sheep offers people warm fur. Sheep offers people warm fur. Throne. Throne. The king handed the throne over to his eldest son. The king handed the throne over to his eldest son. Hatred. Hatred. Her passionate love turned into hatred. Her passionate love turned into hatred. Flow. Flow. The blood flows constantly through blood vessels. The blood flows constantly through blood vessels. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. Hulk has extraordinary power. Hulk has extraordinary power. Column. Column. The columns of the temple got tilted by an earthquake. The columns of the temple got tilted by an earthquake. Damage. Damage. The damage from drought and heat is enormous. The damage from drought and heat is enormous. Lung, lung. There's a close relationship between smoking and lung cancer. There's a close relationship between smoking and lung cancer. Trend, trend. To tell the truth, her outfit is far from the trends. To tell the truth, her outfit is far from the trends. Scream, scream. When the kid saw the ghost, he screamed in fear. When the kid saw the ghost, he screamed in fear. Childish, childish. She hates his childish behavior. She hates his childish behavior. Competition, competition. He survived a fierce competition. He survived a fierce competition. Melt, melt. As the sun rose, snow and ice melted. As the sun rose, snow and ice melted. Skeleton, skeleton. He found a human skeleton in the grave. He found a human skeleton in the grave. Dying, dying. She managed to revive the dying flower. She managed to revive the dying flower. Adventure, adventure. You need adventure and courage to succeed. You need adventure and courage to succeed. Since, since. It's been 2 years since I left my job. It's been 2 years since I left my job. Dine, dine. She invited her neighbors to dine together. She invited her neighbors to dine together. Piercing, piercing. He clearly heard the piercing scream. He clearly heard the piercing scream. Leadership, leadership. Her leadership considers principles a priority. Her leadership considers principles a priority. Seize, seize. Seize the opportunity and you can succeed. Seize the opportunity and you can succeed. Revival, revival. The theme of this festival is revival of tradition. The theme of this festival is revival of tradition. Dental, dental. He got dental treatment because of his cavities. He got dental treatment because of his cavities. Hug, hug. He opened his arms and hugged his son. He opened his arms and hugged his son. Safety, safety. I fastened my seatbelt for safety. I fastened my seatbelt for safety. Mill, mill. She ground the beans to powder in the mill. She ground the beans to powder in the mill. Respect, respect. I respect him deeply as a senior. I respect him deeply as a senior. Pitiful, pitiful. My family adopted a pitiful orphan. My family adopted a pitiful orphan. Marriage, marriage. The couple will live in this house after marriage. The couple will live in this house after marriage. Servant, servant. The servant sacrificed his life for the owner. The servant sacrificed his life for the owner. Closure, closure. The closure of the factory was a shock to the workers. The closure of the factory was a shock to the workers. Delay, delay. Our flight's departure was delayed until tomorrow. Our flight's departure was delayed until tomorrow. Classic, classic. The classic music captured the audience's hearts. The classic music captured the audience's hearts. Foundation, foundation. This house is built on a strong foundation. This house is built on a strong foundation. Sparkle, sparkle. Her brown eyes sparkled with playfulness. Her brown eyes sparkled with playfulness. Boom, boom. The oil market enjoyed the untimely boom. The oil market enjoyed the untimely boom. Dwarf, dwarf. Snow White and Seven Dwarfs is a famous fairy tale. Snow White and Seven Dwarfs is a famous fairy tale. Within, within. I will finish this work within 2 days. I will finish this work within 2 days.